How can a secret from the past, locked away for decades, suddenly emerge to reveal a chilling murder? Welcome to the intriguing world of true crime, a realm where mysteries unravel and the unthinkable becomes reality. Today we delve into the chilling case of Reina Marroquin, a tale steeped in secrecy, a narrative that was hidden away, shrouded in the shadows of time for far too long. Reina's story is a testament to the resilience of truth, a truth that refused to stay buried. It's a story that is as haunting as it is heartbreaking, a story that remained a mystery for years, a riddle wrapped in an enigma. The circumstances surrounding Reina's case are as intriguing as they are tragic, drawing us into a web of mystery that remained unsolved for decades. As we unravel this cold case, we will journey through the past, piecing together Reina's life and the events that led to her untimely demise. We will explore the clues, the suspects, and the shocking revelations that eventually led to a startling resolution. This is the story of Reina Marroquin, a story that lay buried for 30 years. Reina Marroquin, a name forgotten by time, a life cut short under mysterious circumstances. Born in the heart of El Salvador, Reina Marroquin grew up in a world far removed from the hustle and bustle of the American dream. Her homeland was marked by beauty and tradition, but also by a lack of opportunities. Like many others, Reina yearned for a life that held more than what her homeland could offer. Inspired by this pursuit of a better life, she made the bold decision to move to the United States in the 1960s. Upon setting foot in America, Reina was greeted not by streets paved with gold, but by the harsh reality of life as an immigrant. However, she wasn't one to back down. Reina found work in a factory, her days filled with the rhythmic hum of machinery, and her nights suffused with the vibrant culture of her fellow immigrants. She was a woman of resilience, a dreamer navigating the labyrinth of the American dream. Reina's life was not confined to the factory's four walls. She formed bonds and relationships, connections that would later become integral to her story. One such relationship was with a man named Howard Elkins, the owner of the factory where she worked. Little did Reina know that this relationship would weave a dangerous tapestry, a web of passion and deceit that would ultimately lead to her untimely disappearance in 1969. Her sudden vanishing left a void in the lives of those who knew her. The vibrant woman with a ready laugh and dreams as vast as the ocean was reduced to a mere memory. The questions surrounding her disappearance were as numerous as they were haunting. What happened to Reina Marroquin? Why did she vanish without a trace? And most importantly, who was behind her disappearance? But Reina's story doesn't end with her disappearance. In 1969, Reina Marroquin vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. In the lead-up to her disappearance, Reina's life was seemingly normal. She was a Salvadoran immigrant striving to build a life in the United States. Friends and acquaintances would describe her as vibrant and full of life, always eager to make a better future for herself. The last persons known to have seen her were her close friends. They remember her as cheerful and optimistic, with no visible signs of distress or worry. Her last known whereabouts were her apartment in New York City. She was known to keep to herself and rarely had visitors. That's why it was so strange when she suddenly disappeared. A sense of unease began to grow among her friends when she stopped showing up to work and her phone calls went unanswered. It was unlike Reina to disappear without a word. The initial investigation into her disappearance was as puzzling as it was frustrating. There were no signs of struggle in her apartment, nothing to indicate that she had packed up and left, and no hint of foul play. The investigators were stumped. They interviewed her friends, her employer, and even distant relatives, but no one had any idea where Reina could have gone or why she would leave without a trace. The months following Reina's disappearance were filled with a series of dead ends and false leads. The police followed every possible lead, every hint, and every speculation, but they all led to nowhere. As the months turned into years, Reina Marroquin's name began to fade from the public consciousness. Her story was buried under the weight of other unsolved cases and the passage of time. Despite the best efforts of investigators, Reina's case went cold. Fast forward to 1999, a chilling discovery brings Reina's story back from the shadows. In a quiet corner of New Jersey, a barrel, long forgotten, was unearthed. Sealed within its cold steel confines were the remains of a woman, later identified as Reina Marroquin. The barrel held more than just the echoes of a life cut short. It was a time capsule of sorts, preserving a morbid tableau from a time long past. Among the skeletal remains were a purse, a locket, and a ring. But perhaps the most chilling item was a notebook, its pages yellowed with age. This wasn't just any notebook. It bore the name of a certain plastics company based in New York, the same company where Reina was known to have worked. This was a tangible link, a thread connecting the past to the present, the missing to the found. The purse, too, held secrets. Inside, investigators found an address book. Upon closer inspection, they noticed a name that stood out: Howard Elkins, the owner of the plastics company where Reina had been employed. A name that would soon become central to the unfolding investigation. The locket and ring, personal items of Reina's, added another layer of depth to the discovery. They were poignant reminders of a woman who once lived, loved, and dreamed. But it was the discovery of the body that sent shockwaves through the community. The remains were identified as Reina's through dental records, bringing an end to the 3-decade-long search for the missing woman. It was a grim resolution, yes, but a resolution nonetheless. The discovery marked a turning point in Reina's story. It brought her back into the public consciousness, casting a spotlight on a case that had long been relegated to the annals of forgotten crimes. Reina's story was back in the limelight, but the biggest revelations were yet to come. With new evidence and modern forensics, investigators reopened Reina's case, determined to solve the mystery. The wheels of justice may turn slowly, but they never stop. With a renewed sense of purpose, those seeking justice for Reina Marroquin were not about to let her story slip back into the annals of forgotten cases. The discovery of Reina's body, and the objects with it, had sparked a flame, and this flame was about to ignite a full-scale investigation. Investigators carefully sifted through the forensic evidence. The sealed drum had preserved much, and every piece was a potential key to unlocking the truth. The unique condition of the crime scene, locked away for decades, presented a chilling tableau frozen in time, yet it was ripe with clues. Among the items found with her remains was a stunning piece of evidence. A diary, Reina's diary. Her words, etched onto the pages, provided an intimate glimpse into her life and the turmoil she experienced. The entries were poignant, heartbreaking, and at times, deeply disturbing. They spoke of a woman trapped in a dangerous situation, fearful for her life. Perhaps the most damning piece of evidence was a phone call Reina made to a friend shortly before her disappearance. She revealed that she was pregnant and that her former employer, a man she had been having an affair with, was the father. This bombshell revelation placed her employer squarely in the spotlight of suspicion. The man, once a powerful figure, was now tied to a decades-old murder case. Investigators tirelessly pieced together the puzzle, each diary entry, each forensic clue, each testimony adding another layer to the complex tapestry of Reina's tragic tale. This was no longer just an investigation, it was a quest for truth, a quest for justice. At last Reina's voice was heard. Her story, once lost to time, finally saw the light of day. Reina Marroquin's story is a chilling reminder of the secrets that can lurk beneath the surface. This tale of a young woman full of dreams and aspirations, whose life was abruptly and tragically cut short, has gripped us all. The key points from Reina's story tell a tale of disappearance, discovery, and an investigation that would eventually lead to the truth. Her case was one that remained cold for decades, a mystery that seemed destined to remain unsolved. But with the discovery of her remains, the case was reopened. Through the diligent work of investigators, the truth was slowly and painstakingly unearthed. This brought closure to Reina's family, who had been left in the dark for far too long. This case has much to teach us. It highlights the importance of perseverance in investigations and the value of scientific advancements in forensics. It reminds us that every victim deserves justice, no matter how much time has passed. In the end, the truth about Reina Marroquin was revealed, not through confession or trial, but through the silent testimony of her remains.